are, I think you need to share at least half, if not 85%, of the accountability of people misreading what you say.
Yeah, except I would agree to that, except I mean, obviously I've suffered enough of this and paid attention out of, purely self-interest enough to know that some of this is actually consciously malicious, where it's not a matter of a misunderstanding. It's a matter of, someone is simply lifting a misleading sentence, a sentence that can't help but be misleading out of context, so as to spread a falsehood about my views. I mean, one really egregious example here is in one of my books, I think it's Letter to a Christian Nation, I was talking about the naturalistic fallacy in moral philosophy, and how you could never say that because something is natural, it is good. And we're not tempted to say that. We're not tempted to say that about rape, for instance. Rape is perfectly natural. Dolphins rape, orangutans rape. Our ancestors may have raped, and that may have produced some evolutionary advantage, some adaptive advantage for them, getting their genes into the next generation. This is still controversial in biology, but let's just say that's so. You would never move from that naturalistic claim to the normative moral claim that rape is therefore good or in any way acceptable. Most of what is natural, we're trying to outgrow, the tribal violence being the primary candidate there.
Yeah, but you don't live in a bubble. You know how, again, the dictionary definition is irrelevant here. What matters is how people see, perceive, and hear words. The word natural currently means good. You know this. Like, take me to the natural food store. Take me to the natural section. That's what it means.
No doubt. But in the context of actually discussing the naturalistic fallacy, right, and talking about how nature doesn't entail moral goodness, my point is that no matter how scrupulous you are, if you're going to write anything deep and interesting and you're going to cover any kind of provocative material, there's no way to bulletproof every sentence against misleading quotation.